Hey guys, it's Chedek, and in this video we're going to be talking about my VALLEY amplifier. You know, it's one of the last amplifiers before we move on to Devil, and Devil is a big boy. I think I'm gonna have to break that video up into 2 parts because I don't want to upload like 35 minutes. Or maybe I will, I don't know, depending on this video. So if you want me to make Devil amplifier one big video, guys, please leave in the comments below. Big video, I guess. So now that that's out the way, let's talk about my VALLEY amplifier. And again, like always, I'm going to be turning off the webcam and I'm going to be showing the traps on screen that I've been using in this build. So VALLEY amplifier it's pretty important. This amplifier gets attacked on waves 2, wave 9, wave 23, and wave 30 as far as I'm concerned. And you have to trap this up because that's the guaranteed waves. It's possible for this amplifier to get attacked at least like 8 times during your endurance runs. I remember on one occasion I had waves 20, 21, and 23 have VALLEY amplifier on a solo run, and it was absolutely insane. I bet you guys don't care, so let's move on to the build. Okay, so I have done a little spawn kill in the shape of an L because I like damage. So if you want to know where, go to the lava spout and put a wooden floor piece on the floor. Then look up, and that is where the corner is, and then you move 2 forward on this direction and 2 forward on the other direction. Basically, if you're looking south, you put 2 forward on south and 2 forward on west. And like you guys have said, I will stop flicking my mouse as much. I'm very sorry. It's just that's usually how I play, and that's usually how I do it. Now, to connect those gas traps, have 3 pieces on those gas traps with wall darts. These wall darts are for extra damage because they trigger within a 3 tile radius and they travel down up to 6 tiles. Thank you for whoever taught me that in the comments. I really appreciate that. You make me a better player, and I'm very happy about that. So it'll trigger on these 2 tiles dealing damage, it'll trigger on these 3 tiles, which is always a guaranteed trigger, and it'll trigger on these 3 tiles and go down to these 5 tiles, which in my opinion, and not even just my opinion and just straight facts, that's a lot of damage. And then I have 2 wall darts. If you go up the hill here, this is where you don't want a tile here. If you have a tile here, there's high chance propanes will just straight up destroy it, or they'll try to destroy this wall to roam that side. Then you're gonna put a wall launcher here, so husks that come up here and try to move up here will get launched back into the spawn killing. And then a wall darts to the right of it, and so that'll hit all these 3 husks. Like if any husk get here or any husk go here, that will trigger the wall darts. And once you move up, there will be a wooden floor spikes, and we'll talk about this tunnel first, and then we'll move on to that tunnel. Then all those pieces, by the way, like you're gonna have a ceiling on them. Only these 4 need to be gas traps, and then you could put a ceiling electric field here too, because ceiling or electric fields trigger on a 3x3 radius, which deals damage to basically anything around here. Here, there, and there. That's like a lot of damage. Okay, so then we move forward, and we have a weird timeout chamber. We'll get to that. So a wall launcher here with wooden floor spikes to push husks into this wooden floor spikes, a broadside, and a wall dart facing the wall launcher. Remember guys, if you have a broadside facing your wall launcher, the chances of the impact affecting the wall launcher are very high. So if you're building your own tunnels, make sure that if you ever have a wall launcher, have wall darts facing them, or wall darts in that area. If a broadsides hit it, then the chances of your wall launchers going off are lowered, and you don't want that. You want your stalling. Then you move up 1 more tile. It's a tar pit. Onto the right of it is a wall dart. In front of it is a wall launcher to push things back into the tunnel, and occasionally this timeout chamber. The reason why there's no tar pit in this timeout chamber because it is the beginning of the tunnel, and there will be a lot of husks getting into this timeout chamber, essentially destroying my timeout chamber. And then of course the wall launch, and then the tar pit here is because if things make it from all the way here, then you want them to be slowed. And then you move up 1 tile, look to the right of, I don't push back over here, and the reason why I don't do that is because I don't want to force them, because a lot of people push back and then they put a tile there and they try to force them to come here. That's a big no-no, because the husks will just straight up charge whatever's here. It's just like, if you're gonna push them all the way to the back, then don't put a tile there and try to force them back. That's not how it's gonna work. They're just gonna break the wall. Yeah, it's pretty simple, honestly. Then when you move up the ramp, you have a wall launcher to push husks that way. Now this is where the tunnel gets funky. So this wall launcher has the possibility to push husks over here, and back into the tunnel, which makes this wall launcher have such an extreme like use that it's almost essential to place it there. And then to the right of the wall launcher, you have a wall darts, so it doesn't mess with the wall launcher. And then another wall launcher with a tar pit to push the husks that land up here. If they even stop right here, there's a big chance that this wall launcher will trigger and push them back into the tunnel and into this tar pit. And this tar pit will stop them for 3 seconds while this wall launcher reloads to again push them back into the tunnel. And then again into there. And right here, okay, so if they land here, by the way, this wall launcher will send them back over here. You could place a tar pit here if you want. I decided not to because I know smashers won't get triggered by this. This is straight up for smaller husks of lower value to get pushed off into the tunnel. And then for these tiles, these 3 tiles, starting off at this wall launcher with a tar pit, you want to put a gas trap, and a gas trap on these 3 tiles. Not here, not on top of this, because that's where you're going to put your ramp pieces, which we will get to later. Now let's talk about this side. So the majority of the husks will spawn here. They all spawn around here. Everyone knows this. And the majority of the husks will come through here. And to me, I did not like that. I did not like how much husks were coming through here. So I wanted to split them up because that would definitely cause clogging, and that's a huge problem in my opinion. So what I did is I've added 2 more pathways to the husks. Let's talk about this pathway. So for this pathway, there is a wall launcher pushing them into this side of the tunnel, which you might be thinking, that's pretty dumb. You're pushing them in that direction. In my opinion, that is the smartest thing I can do, because I don't want these husks to go over here and end up here and clogging this tunnel. I don't want 37,000 husks right here all trying to push there. I want some husks to go this way. If they go this way, the higher chances of that tunnel not exploding the clogging is just raised indefinitely. And if they go through here, well, there is the wall launcher pushes them into this tar pit, so you guys know that this tile has to be empty, otherwise again the husks will break it. And we'll talk about that tunnel later. Then you move up 1 and there's wooden floor spikes again with this hole. This is where the hole meets up, and a wall launcher to push them back so they make sure that this tunnel goes. And then a wall darts facing the east direction, so all those husks can get actually smoked by that wall dart. Then they move up 1 tile with a wall launcher here, wooden floor spikes, and a timeout chamber with a tar pit, broadside, wall launcher, and ceiling gas trap. And all of these ceiling pieces you see here are gas. Do not put you could put electric field if you wanted to put it there. Personally, I do not recommend it. Now we go here. One to the left, it has a wall launcher again to push them into the tunnel. I want them in this tunnel. And then there's a wall darts against that wall launcher so it doesn't mess up the impact, and again with that wall launcher. And then there's 2 wall darts here from oh wait, before we move on, replace this wall darts with a wall launcher. Trust me, you're gonna want to do that. This one pushing over there because it will always trigger, and then a wall dart here to make sure it kills anything that comes here. Then you have this wall launcher that pushes them back over there. Well, for now we'll talk about this over here. So gas trap. So the husks will choose. They'll choose either left or here. And if they choose here, they're going to probably go that way. That's why this wall launcher is here, to push them into this tunnel. And so yeah, don't put a wall floor here because then you're just blocking off a path, and you don't want that. If you block it off, high chances are husks won't go there. So if you want to build your own tunnel and you don't want that, then feel free to not take it. But what I've done is I added a gas trap, wall darts, and a wooden floor spikes because I want them to come this way. And then there's 2 broadsides here, wooden floor spikes, and a ceiling gas trap. You could add a tar pit here if you wanted to, but I don't think there's enough damage yet involved before like high level things come here. Then there's wooden floor spikes and a wall launcher to push them back out. If they get pushed back out there, they'll probably be at like lost 30% HP, and whatever tunnel they choose, they'll die. Then there is a tar pit trap here with a wall launcher to push them back into that tunnel, and then a wall dart here. Now, if they're already here, they're not going this way. They won't. If they have already made it to this part of the tunnel, that's it. Their path is now this. So right here is there's another opening, by the way. So Sometimes lobbers and flingers, they'll disregard these paths entirely, and they'll go through here. They'll walk along all of this and come up here. I have like straight up lined this up with gas traps. It's inefficient, but I didn't want them to fling. And if you guys remember with lava, that's very important, and those tiles are important for a lava shield on Amplifier D. I have these two walls here because I didn't want them walking up here. I wanted them to walk around here with the ramps behind them, and it effectively stops them from doing that. And then I have a wall launcher here to push them back into that row of gas traps to deal even more damage. And I have a tar pit here, one tile to the right. Once you go up the ramp, this should be, don't put a tile there. Like I say, you don't want to block off those natural paths, or else you'll be ruining your game for you. Then a tar pit here to stop anything that gets through. Wall launcher to push them in here into a timeout chamber with a wall dart, broadside, gas trap like always. And then you should meet up here with a wall launcher to push them back into this timeout chamber, and a floor spike there. I have this little funnel piece here because at this point there should be a low amount of husk, so you can add funnel pieces. At the ends of your tunnels, you are allowed to add funnel pieces. Don't be afraid to. In the beginning of your tunnels, if you add funnel pieces, it'll blow up because of clogging. There's not a lot of husk at the end of your tunnel, so it's okay to run these. Then a wall launcher here with a wooden floor spikes into a timeout chamber. Same as always, broadside, wall dart, ceiling gas trap. And all of these tiles on the ceiling are gas traps. And then we have a floor launcher here with two wall darts, and don't put broadsides. If you put broadsides, the high chance of them already getting staggered and this wall launcher is not triggering is phenomenal. And then with the little trick that you put a wall here, you edit these two tiles, and then you're allowed to place a floor launcher into this tile. I've done that because I'm a dirty cheater and I want to win. And then there's a little tunnel here with I put a ramp and a wall floor piece there so I can force them to come up here. And then a floor launcher to push them up, and a wall launcher to push them out. This is a ghost trap. I don't even want it triggering. And then a wall dart to do damage over here. Once they get out through here, you end up at the main tunnel. By then, there should be a smasher with at least 20 to 30% HP. If you have these ramp pieces like this, if you know, original smasher protection, if you, big tip at like the corner of amplifiers, it's just... that's smasher protection at those pieces. If you don't have that, smashers will charge. And if smashers are charging, it's probably because you have flat walls. Don't forget the original straight up rules on smasher protection. You need to have those types of pieces. And then these wall launchers, I can remove that. And then these floor launchers to fly them up. Now let's end up over here. Okay, so this part is my favorite. So right here is where the tar pit is, for point of reference if you have placed one already. This wall launcher with these floor spikes and this gas trap will push the husk all the way over here. Smashers will land here, and smaller husks will land down there onto that floor launcher. Then they're forced to hit those two floor launchers, this third floor launcher, this fourth floor launcher, and then they can choose here, which you could put a floor launcher there if you want to, but it's entirely up to you. So that's the power of this wall launcher. And I put a tar pit trap here just in case anything lands here for extra damage, and a wall dart here, so if anything comes on these tiles, they get shot with extra damage. And a wall dart there because if anything comes in these three tiles, everything here gets shot. And a wall dart here because, well, this floor launcher. Now, the value of this floor launcher is unrivaled by anything else in this game. This floor launcher will launch anything that gets triggered here through these two ramps back into the tunnel. Now, I know what you might be thinking. That's a bunch of bull. Well, I will personally show you. I will personally show you either now or in the footage that this floor launcher is unparalleled in just value, I guess. It's just so good. And that's why I have these two ramps here. It was an experiment and it worked, and I'm starting to implement that in other tunnels like Amplifier H West. So Amplifier H West may get a major rework. That's currently what's happening. And then the rest are just floor launchers because, you know, the husks will end up here, they'll walk here to here to here, and then just damage. And now let's move on to smasher protection, okay? So for over here, you should have just this floor piece for the ceiling electric field, and then everything here you want to put. I know you should have these walls. Just put two ramps here. It's fine. It's been working for me. Honestly, you could change that. with that, but I honestly have not had any issues with it whatsoever. As long as it's tier 3 metal, you should be fine, but I'm still gonna probably change it because, you know, with more skill becomes, yeah, I'm just gonna definitely change that. For this, it's very important that you overprotect this area because not smashers, but huskies like to attack this wall eventually when they get super tired, and it happened to me a lot, and this has stopped it. So basically, put a pyramid piece, right, angle it so it hits these two walls, and then under that tile you want to put a floor piece like that, so when they walk up they have to destroy that floor piece. And then I had it personally like I had it like this, but that's looking at it now, it's not as good, so I'm just going to be changing it. And then 2 walls behind it because, you know, better safe than sorry. And then over here, add 3 walls. All right, you can add 3 walls here. You can add ramps in front of them if you would so like. But I haven't had trouble. Only in the later waves when there's massive clogging could this tunnel potentially explode if you haven't placed all your traps down. Because if you don't have anything happening over here where the husks are all pathing through here and they're all forced up this little piece, there's a chance that the tunnel will explode. To be real, just to be real with everyone, if like 40 husks have to path up here, the chances are this tunnel will explode. So occasionally, I recommend on the later waves for not all of your players to be camping up on Amplifier D. I want some players to be over here, because if some players can bait over here, then the husks will path over here into this tunnel, giving it more value and stopping the clogging issue that everyone should be having no matter what your tunnel is over here. This area is a major problem because this is the only area where husks can come up. Of course, you can add another tile there, but then what's to stop the husks from breaking over there? So seriously, positioning is very important on this tunnel in the later waves. Do not have all of your players standing up on top of this amplifier, because then you're just aggroing them here. Have some players to just, I'm repeating myself now, but it's very important that you thin out the husks, because there's no other possible way. I've tried multiple things. I have tried removing this, putting wall launcher and a wall darts there and wall launcher here to push the husks into there, but it would still just happen here. So it's very important to position yourself properly on this amplifier. And I hope I've satisfied you guys with my slow mouse movements. I really do. And now let's move on to some footage of this amplifier in action. I hope you guys enjoy. Alright, so this is the amplifier in action. This is wave 9, it's a relatively easy wave, and luckily all of my traps are still active. And as you can see, that wall launcher is putting in work on the right side, pushing husks into my right tunnel. Sadly, they aren't pathing over here, but they will path in the later waves. I think after like a few seconds it will cut to wave 23. It's very awkward of me to say this, but yeah, the tunnel works very well on lower waves. When it gets to the higher waves, you'll start running out of traps, and as you can see the occasional husk pathing to the right, which in my opinion is just what I was looking for. And as you can see, that wall launcher pushes them up, and that husk walked right back through the tunnel. Husk pathing, what even are you? So this tunnel works absolute wonders when all of the traps are up. When some traps run out of trap durability, as you can see, husks start getting through. I'm assuming the tar pit and the wall launchers, they ran out of durability, so these smashers aren't getting stopped anymore. And when traps run out of durability, of course, well, there's nothing to stop them from getting through your tunnels. And if smashers get through your tunnels, they break down your walls, and then it's just a hard game. So yeah, that's about it for the tunnel. I guess I'll play the rest of the clip. As you can see me struggling to place down some extra traps, because you know, when traps run out, you know, it's just suffering. Alright, so that's about it for the Valley. So for the next build, we're going to be doing Devil Amplifier. Now, like I asked in the beginning of the video, let me know if you guys want a short video. I'll do like east and west as one video, and then north in another video, or just one super long video. If you want a short video, just tell me east and west or north, and I'll do what you guys request. And one more thing. Okay, so the people who want me to run endurance with you, I have simple requirements if you want me to run endurance with you, and I do that over on Twitch at twitch.tv/Tedic. Shameless advertising on my own YouTube channel. It's my YouTube channel. I'll do whatever I want. And one more thing. To the people who want me to build your endurance, I don't even have time to get 8 hours of sleep, okay? So, no, I'm not gonna do that for you. I'm sorry. Please, like all the other people who are patiently building their bases, just build it for yourself. Come on. It's not that hard. It's actually one of the funnest things to do if you're building your own build. And yeah, that's about it, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and catch you in the next one. See ya later.